Hi, welcome back to Activate Magnetic Love Tarot. My name is Vanessa, and this reading is for October 4th, 2018. And today we are doing a heart chakra reading. So if you'd like, you can just connect to the center of your chest, connect to your heartbeat. Just go ahead and breathe deep into your heart. Connect with your heartbeat and its wisdom, its unconditional love and light. And just allow that beautiful unconditional energy that's within you to expand beautifully all around you. And this healing, beautiful green light. Just allow the frequency of the heart chakra, that green flower of life that supports your capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Just allowing that healing to balance your mind and your body. Just connecting to that beautiful, unconditional love within you. Wonderful. Just taking a few moments to connect to your heart is a very powerful way to start any day, or if you're feeling out of balance, or just disconnected. I know a lot of the times actually we try to disconnect from our heart because it's too much sometimes, and understandably, the heart is full. It can be very full, but it's okay to have feelings. It's okay to feel deeply, and through unconditional love and loving yourself unconditionally and others unconditionally, you can kind of get through any intensity. It's when we're resisting love that creates deep suffering. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, that love is one of the most healing frequencies in the universe. And even if you've been heartbroken by life, a relationship, whatever the circumstance may be, you really want to take that time to heal and allow yourself to love again and to believe in love again, because it really is the most powerful energy there is. Okay, all right, so let's get this started. I was just waiting for an interruption that didn't happen, so that's good. Okay, so starting with the blessing of the heart chakra for October 4th, 2018. And just let whatever card wants to pop out. Oh, there we go. Huh. All right. Blessing of the heart chakra for October 4th is the 9 of Wands. Okay. And then the challenge of the heart chakra for October 4th, 2018 is just taking a moment. Oh, there we go. Ah, the Chariot. Fantastic. All right. And then the advice. Whoa. Oh, okay. I like it. It makes sense. All right. So let's begin and dive in, shall we? All the information on the decks I'm using will be down below, as well as more information about my offerings. So let's see, the 9 of Wands in terms of the blessing of the heart chakra. So the 9 of Wands is like kind of you just been pushing so hard that you can't really push any farther without really harming yourself. And it asks you to really, take a pause, really look at what you're doing, and give yourself that time to rest and renew. And I think that's the in terms of this reading, the heart chakra's blessing for today is to say, look, you can't do everything overnight, you know. You're very close. You're very close to completing whatever it is your heart is set on. But you have to realize that you're human, that you're a body, and you got to love your body just as much as the mental goals that you want to reach. You got to honor your body and allow it to rest, and love your body to give it that rest that it needs, so that you can kind of get a break from everything that you're doing. You know, sometimes our mind just keeps on pushing, and to the point of exhaustion. And you know, even though we think the finish line is so close that we should just charge forward, you know, if we don't give ourselves that pause, and to potentially give ourselves a pause and really reconnect to our heart energy and not just let the mind guide us everywhere that we're going, but to, you know, you're so close to completion, let's take a pause and connect to your heart and see what your heart says about the final touches to what you're working on. Or whatever challenge you may be going through. Like, you're definitely close to ending a cycle that you've been very passionate about. And but don't forget what's important in terms of your heart. Like, don't just be all business and no pleasure. You know, life is too short not to come from your heart and to feel deeply with your heart, and to connect with what it is that you really love. Like, don't just make it about work. And, you know, yeah, make sure you look at everything that you're doing and just see that, just make sure you're coming from a place of love. And I think that's a beautiful blessing of the heart chakra, is to come from a place of love unconditionally, no matter what's going on, but also to, like, love yourself enough to know when you need a breather, and also to reach out to someone else you love who might need a breather, and to just lovingly let them know, hey, you know what, you're a body, you're a human body, and maybe you need to just relax and connect with your loved ones, or your heart, and listen to what your heart needs and not just the demands of the world. And I think that's beautiful. So moving on to the Chariot. I'm sorry, I got a shaky camera today. But the Chariot for October the 4th. And the Chariot, I used to always like to say it's meditation in motion, and I still kind of really resonate with that. But so the challenge of the heart chakra with the Chariot is, maybe that's just it. You know, it kind of resonates with the Nine of Wands as well. Is that, you know, before you take off in your chariot and go on this journey, make sure you're connecting in with your heart. You know, like, you can do anything, you know, like Einstein over here, but you have to bring all parts of you into the equation. You can't just let the intellect take you. You gotta let the heart fuel what it is you're doing. Otherwise, you won't really get where you want to go. And yeah, like, all the hard work that you do, if you don't really connect to your heart, your feelings, your connections, the human connections, the relationships, the words that your heart wants to speak and hear and celebrate, like, you can't just all be work, no play. And I think that's also coming through with the Chariot. It's like, you gotta have that fire of your heart in what you're doing, and you have to be connected to your heart to find the true wisdom of getting where you're going. All right, I think that's pretty great. So moving on to the advice, and I love that the Five of Cups is showing up, because that's the heart, man. Boy, does disappointment come into play when we're passionate, we're dealing with the love frequency, the heart frequency. And if you're gonna love, if you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable in order to open up to love, and offering your cup of love, especially in relationship, you're gonna hit disappointment. You're gonna hit some hard places where you just feel like everything you poured your heart into kind of fell over and left you in pieces. And a lot of the times when we feel that, we kind of feel like we have to turn our back on love because it let us down, or we let it down, or there's a deep sense of shame when love hits that failure mark. But really, love, there's no failure in love. I mean, there's plenty of pain that comes in to play when what we think is like love in a way that it's supposed to go one way and it goes another way. We kind of just abandon the love that originally was there because it didn't pan out in the way that we had expected it. But that's also real, that's not unconditional love. And the heart chakra is really about that unconditional love, where you realize, like, okay, wow, this person that I was madly in love with is not madly in love with me. And it's heartbreaking, but if there was real love there, wouldn't you want them to really be happy and to find love somewhere that was real for them? And I think that's kind of what this card is. In some ways, it's like, yeah, you know what? Move on and let there be love in a space that isn't you and the other person, but you and whomever they are meant to be with. But also, like, if that wasn't the right love for you, then the right love for you is there, but you got to take the time to, like, deal with the feelings of the past and heal them, and then face love again. And then you just might be amazed at the sparks that come in with the love that does show up when you're not trying to, like, fit it into just one way or one person or one outcome. Because that's the thing, is we're in a vast universe here, and to just expect things to go one way is to really limit ourselves and sort of be a control freak. And love isn't controlling. Love is humble, and love is expansive, and love is beautiful, and it's healing, and it's transformative. And also, love doesn't have to be just with another or a group of people. It's like the love that you bring to the table is always going to start with the love that you allow yourself to have for your love of who you are, and that's self-love. And so I wrote this book, Sexy Magnetic You, which is all about healing ourselves and loving ourselves unconditionally so that we can heal the world. And I think, I wrote it because I just knew I had to write it. But I remember when I was younger, it was so hard to be alone, and I just felt like, who was I without another kind of thing? And there was just a lot of confusion there, and it took me it was a long path that I got to get to that, like, filling up my own cup and realizing how satisfying it is to love yourself in a way that just fuels every cell in your body, so that every connection that you have is coming from that space of love and alchemy, so that you aren't just looking for the romantic other half, but you realize every opportunity to communicate with another in all walks of life is an opportunity to enjoy love and its expansive abilities to just surprise you and add a sparkle, a spark, an incredible movement when you're just coming from that place of self-love and expansion and willingness to not turn away from love, but face it when it shows up in all shapes and sizes and forms of being, whether it's like a love of what you're doing, a love of the environment you're in, a love that you want to share with a challenge that's in the world, in terms of you showing up to help lighten the challenge that may be out there. Like, love is, there's so many ways to experience love that, if love is disappointing you, then find a way that you can enjoy love, whether it's a love of certain music or art or community, or, there's always opportunity to love. And that's the advice. It's like, you know what? There'll be spilled milk, there'll be regrets, there'll be life lessons that really, make you want to turn away from love. And the advice is to don't turn your back on love. Love is the most beautiful thing there is. And when you're ready to face it, it's waiting for you. You may feel abandoned by it, but it's waiting on you to turn around and just face it. And that may be the mirror, and your eyes just willing to love yourself again, or willing to love another again. But love will never abandon you. And I think that's really the advice, is like, no matter what challenge comes in, love is not going to abandon you. It may teach you some real deep truths and sides of yourself, but there's nothing to worry about in terms of depth if you're willing to breathe into your heart and connect to your heart chakra, and to listen to it and to do the work it takes to heal it. You're going to make it through, and you're going to be so happy you had the courage, and I mean courage. To love is to be courageous and fearless, because there are no promises. It's an unconditional commitment. You show up for love, and there's no promises. Even if you say I do, who's to say? They invented divorce, right? So there's no knowing what tomorrow brings, but that's what love is willing to step into the unknown and know that it's because you had the courage to do it, and the courage to fall from it, and the courage to heal from it, and the courage to face it again. And that's a beautiful thing. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'm wishing you much love and light, and have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Please like and subscribe, and to learn more, you can just go down to the description down below, and I hope this finds you more than well. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.